up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's Peach Tea, episode 210. For those who may or may not be counting, we have. This is definitely another giant-sized episode. I would say another giant-sized annual because we got a bunch to dig into tonight.
This is. It's a giant annual, but it's the one that has like a bunch of smaller issues in it. There's no like big overarching one because there's no movie. It's just four really cool, like, short ones.
Yeah, like remember when we were like, hey, we're gonna be doing a bunch of TV only and no movies, and we're like, oh, that'll be easy. And like, then basically the universe is like, guess what? All the shows are coming out all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. Listen, hopefully you've been watching along with us. But thank you for joining on this Monday evening. Except we got a lot to get into here. We got Marvel Zombies. We got some Marvel stuff to cover. We got some DC with Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 6. We've got some Gen V Season 2, Episode 4 to talk about. And we've also got Alien Earth because we've decided to jump into that and we're enjoying the heck out of that. We got a lot. There's a lot of thoughts I'm sure both of us have to share on all of this. But thanks for joining us on the Facebook live stream. If you're joining us on YouTube or wherever you found your audio on the podcast, we always appreciate the support. I'm Ed, and with me as always is Jason. Jason, what's up, my man? What's going on?
How's it going? Happy Monday. I'll say this. I definitely have some thoughts on things I saw. I gotta clean the tank out today because after today I don't know when I'm gonna see that eye again. So I just gotta clean it all out now.
Wow, you came out guns blazing here, like right off the bat, man. Picked up right where you left off last week.
I did. I was thinking about it. I just didn't write anything down, but I was thinking like I need at least one or two more eye puns. I need to go out with a bang. I mean, I don't want to be like a blind man in an orgy where I got to feel my way out. Cause
oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll stop after this episode.
No, this could be the new thing. It's just we'll just see how many puns. I mean, it's not like we steer away from puns. So like, if they naturally come in, then sure, why not?
No. That's true. But I'm just saying, how many more episodes can I get away with these eye puns without the actual eye in presence? No.
It that wraps up for at least for tonight, and we'll discuss more if we think there'll be more eye stuff at some point to get into.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. We got to talk about the vision of the future of this franchise.
Wow. And vision could be applied to other stuff too.
It's true, actually. It's true. It's multi-purpose. Hell, if I said white vision, I'd get 3 out of the 4.
That's true. Actually, yeah. Wow. You are firing, my friend. You are firing on all the cylinders. All right. Well, as much as I'm sure people are here for the puns, let's get to the TV shows.
That's right. It's 20 minutes of pun work.
The opening segment was all puns for like 20 minutes, and then we decided to finalize.
That's it. All puns, all the time.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We will drop that spoiler ticker across the bottom, and it's going to remain there because we are going to be spoiling the shit out of everything here. Yes, and over on Disney Plus and the MCU has dropped Marvel Zombies, a series that both of us were pretty excited for, I would say, like going into it for a bit. We've both read different iterations of Marvel Zombies because there's like 1,000 of them at this point. So, and we can get into that too, I guess, from our perspectives of it. But the trailers had me pretty excited. I think you also had shared, like, it looked like it was pretty cool. It was something different. We both enjoyed the What If episode of Marvel Zombies, which this series does springboard off of loosely, like 5 years later, it picks up after that episode of What If. Back when we liked What If in season one, not the third season
The
of
first season,
complete
yeah.
insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jason, go ahead. What were your overall thoughts on the series? Because we're going to be talking about it again. For those who have seen it, keep going. If you haven't, come back another time. But we're going to be talking about all 4 episodes as a collective. We're not going to go episode by episode here, but I mean, like vague, outlining. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away by it. I thought it had some really fun high points, and I thought at times it was kind of like, so what? So yeah, I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, and it made me retroactively dislike the season 3 of What If, because like this would have been a perfect time to have the Watcher come out and give like one of his Watcher like speeches, and then like maybe even open up the door for more longer form animated what ifs in the future, but they they can't do that now. But yeah, so that's kind of my take. Like, so I liked some of it, I didn't like other parts of it. Overall, I thought it was okay. What about you?
I was pretty. I'm gonna be honest. I liked the majority of this. The ending, I don't know what to make of. Because as we talked before we went on, I that's a big talking point, because I think there's a lot to talk about with the ending. But I would say out of the 4 episodes, I was pretty engaged for 3 3/4 episodes. I mean, okay. I'm not going to say it wasn't X-Men 97. It wasn't Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but I was kind of digging it, and I will give Marvel Studios and Marvel Animation props for going where they went with this series, because there is some pretty gory, I mean, for animation, of course, but
agreed.
There is some pretty brutal deaths in this, and there is some emotional weight to it, which I wasn't sure if it wasn't gonna have, because they build up like the stuff with Red Guardian and Yelena. So obviously, when you knew she was gonna sacrifice herself, that was gonna be a thing for him. And I guess I wasn't expecting Kamala Khan to be the central figure, the central hero kind of in this thing.
I wasn't either.
But I didn't hate that. That didn't bother me. I expected more Spider-Man.
Me neither.
And didn't get as much as I thought I was going to get. But I liked what I got. What else? The action I thought was really good. There was some pretty cool action going on, some cool fights and everything like that.
And I think this is probably where it loses points for me, is I just don't really like animated action. Like, it just does nothing for me. Just have it, not even just this, just in general. I'm sure I've spoken about it. Like, if you remember with Invincible, we talked about the action that first episode. I hated that first episode. It wasn't until the characters became more fleshed out and they became more of a character-driven story. So I think that is kind of part of it too, is I was kind of bored by the battles, but not because they were bad or boring, just because I don't like animated fight scenes.
Okay. I'm fine with them personally. Like, I don't necessarily having take issue with it. But I don't know. I thought the action was good. The whole stuff with the Nova Corps, I thought they were going to be, I knew that wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
So
that's part of that. No, that was part of the thing too for me, was they built up the Nova Corps thing so much, and then not only didn't it go anywhere, it was kind of irrelevant to how the story ended up. And I think that for me, it felt like, because I'll be honest, I didn't like the first episode. I was kind of bored by it. I liked parts of the second episode. I really liked the third episode. And I was prepared to really like the fourth episode. And then when that twist happened, I was like, then what the fuck have we just done for the past 3 episodes? You know? And I didn't think that twist was earned. Or maybe it was earned, but it certainly, like, too much time was spent in pursuit of this twist.
Then I mean, you can go and take the lead with it, but with regarding the twist. But I wanted to get your thoughts. So you also saw through the Nova Corps misdirect. What did you think?
Yeah.
What the deal was with them? I'm kind of curious because I had my own theory.
I didn't know, honestly. I thought, oh, this is tech to call the Nova Corps. I didn't think, honestly, I thought the twist was going to be that the infection spread so far nothing came because it was already too late. That's where I thought we were going with it. And then when
I thought they were going to be
I actually would have been fine with it. Yeah, me too. That's what I like. I thought either nothing was going to show up or they were going to be infected, but I for sure was, because the whole thing is like, it wasn't like a virus outbreak, right? It was Thanos. Like, Thanos had the virus and he brought it with him, and Thanos is a planet hopper, so I don't know. It just made sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I think it was, if I remember right, in What If, it was a virus that did spread.
It was, okay.
Yeah, there was a virus that spread, so they did stick to that, like the usual zombie concept there. But you just had to kind of like have seen that to kind of get, or just accept the fact that it was already happening and that's it, like it picks up there. Because until episode, right. It's not until episode 3 and where they're like, oh yeah, this is 5 years after the finale of the What If episode, of the Marvel Zombies What If episode. And that's where we pick up with like the head of Scott Lang that has the cloak, and Spider-Man and T'Challa, right. And Black Panther. T'Challa, that they were their survivors, and we find out they took on Thanos in Wakanda, and it was a showdown and all of that. I guess also, I don't know what I think of some of the. This show has what if elements to it. I would say, like,
and it's the same type of animation.
Oh yeah, well, I think that's the same style of animation. Which,
yeah,
I don't know. I think they need more detail on these, because sometimes I get confused with the characters of who the hell they're supposed to be. To be honest, like, I don't love the animation style on this. Like, I think it's okay.
Same. Like, I didn't realize Kamala Khan was Kamala Khan until they called her by name, because that what they did artistically just didn't look like the actress.
Yeah, and they got a lot of the voice actors from the MCU to actually come and do this, which I was impressed by. That I'm always excited about. Yeah, to get Elizabeth Olsen to come back and voice, Wanda in this. I thought that was cool, and they also got
that was cool.
Kamala Khan is here. Paul Rudd, even though he doesn't have like a lot of lines, like, he's in it too. There's a pretty good amount. What did you think of? I kind of was digging the Infinity Hulk thing in episode 4. Like, I
like that.
I thought that was a pretty cool concept.
I like that, actually. I like that a lot.
What did you think of Blade?
I like that a lot. I had mixed feelings, because it was nice to see Blade.
Yeah, sort of.
but I don't understand. I just don't understand how he became took on the role of Khonshu. Like, I don't make the ABC leap there.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was a tad bit unnecessary. It could have just been Moon Knight, regular Moon Knight, and that's it. Like, you didn't really need.
There's no reason. Yeah.
No. That's where I thought the What If stuff was in this. Like, it was.
Yeah, because it's definitely because it's like, well, it's not the exact MCU, and what if this changed as well, and if Blade was really Khonshu and all that, yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I felt as nice as it was to see Blade, it was kind of gratuitous just to get him in there because they keep shit in the bed on actually putting this movie together.
Yeah, it was a cool idea, but I just thought the Blade part was it was just I don't know. So like we could have got if could you not get Oscar Isaac, and that's why you're like, all right, screw it, we'll just have some fun with this. Maybe I don't know. It didn't take away from anything. It didn't ruin anything. Like that's fine. I mean, yeah, the thing with Khonshu and talking to Valkyrie, I thought was actually kind of cool though.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, there were some highlights. Like I enjoyed Khonshu being like, "What you as Guardians don't recognize me?" What like I thought that was funny. Their whole conversation. I thought the Hulk, Infinity Hulk, I thought was awesome. I liked Thor when Thor finally woke up and did some shit. I liked that. So I definitely thought it had positives. I just think like I think we've talked about this too, right? Like it is so much of this content. Like I can't say that this I actually couldn't say that I thought that this was better than any of the other stuff on the dock tonight. And it's
no, it's not.
I'm not even shitting on it. It's just it just is what it is. So like for something like this, I kind of needed it to wow me.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they're referring to him in IMBD as Blade Knight. Okay, fine.
Blade Knight. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. To get Simu Liu to do this, to get Shang-Chi, because there was a lot of talk about like when the hell are we going to see some of these characters. I think that was also my takeaway with this was like, oh, so we get to see some of the characters that have been set up in the past couple of phases, but we're just waiting around for their next live action appearance. So it's like, here's something
right
to chew on. I guess in the meantime, yeah, I mean, no Tom Holland as Spider-Man in this, but I also know that's like a contractual thing. So, but the guy's fine. That's in it.
He's not allowed to do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's annoying. And it's also why that contractual thing with Sony. So apparently this was supposed to be an animated movie, and then they had to break it down to a series because they're only allowed to use him for like 20-something minute episodes in animation form, and that's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I just wish they would just like, that's it. Just lay it down. Boom. What's it going to cost? Just give us fucking Spider-Man back and let's just move on.
Seriously, get your payoff. You can't make it work.
Yeah, like we're doing everything that's successful. We're basically doing it for you anyway. So, just
right.
Stop. Yeah, and I guess it was all right. So let's just get to it. Let's just get to the ending.
The story.
What the hell happened? Go ahead.
So the story, I just want to give a brief synopsis of the story. So anyone who so the story starts with Kamala Khan and Riri and the ghost of Tony Stark
Kate Bishop.
in the
Kate Bishop also
and Kate Bishop and the ghost of Tony Stark, and they find this small shrunken down thing that's going to get help from the Nova Corps. And Kamala Khan meets up with Blade, and he's like her guide, and they go on their mission. Her friends die. They meet up with Shang-Chi, and this is another thing I kind of had with the movie. I thought there were too many comedians, because you meet like Shang-Chi, and then you get like the funny magic FBI guy, but then you also have Elena and Red Guardian. And so they all get together. They all decide to help Kamala, and then they go to do that. They realize they're up against the Queen of the Dead, which is Scarlet Witch. And stuff goes down. They get saved by Peter Parker and the head of Paul Rudd. They defend the. They go first. They go to Asgard before that. Get let into the party. Then go up to space. Use the thing to get the Nova Corps. The Nova Corps comes and then tries to kill them because it's a quarantine zone. That's the twist. And then they go back down, and Scarlet Witch mounts her attack, and I think that's when they are fucking with the Hulk, and the Scarlet Witch convinces Kamala Khan to give her power, and Kamala Khan sees the world for the way it is that we live in it now, but has flashes of the zombies and done.
Oh, okay. So my question though, with the end of it though. So
yeah,
Kamala Khan, like you said, Scarlet Witch is hunting down Kamala Khan through a lot of this. She wants her to join her and to help her end all of this. And we don't really ever get an explanation of how or why that's a thing. And then they make contact, gives her a hand. Then all of a sudden she wakes up and she's seeing things how they were. Kate Bishop and Riri Williams, who are two of her best friends, they're hanging out at her house. Everything is good. It's almost like, hey, this never happened, which I was really pissed for a second because I thought that's what happened.
It was too.
I thought it was going to be like this. Yeah, Wishmaster, Saint Elsewhere, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yes, I'm going to pull that one out. Whatever it is,
wow.
You can't just pull the whole. Oh, that's a deep cut right there. An old deep cut.
Yeah.
You can't just pull that shit where it's just like, hey, the gist of this is you can't be like, oh, by the way, hand wave, none of this ever happened. Shit, like you can't get that. You didn't get any of those two references. So she starts like flashing back, or like her like short circuiting a bit, if you want to call it, and she's seeing zombie stuff again. And then she sees Scarlet Witch screaming, "Zombie Scarlet Witch!" And then it ends, and that's it. What the fuck happened? I mean, Scarlet Witch was in her head.
I mean,
but for what?
Right. So here's the thing: I don't understand the Scarlet Witch's motivation to do anything she does in this. She's commanding the armies of the dead and making more and more. Like, I just don't get it, because like she's not exactly a zombie. She's zombified, but she's still a Scarlet Witch. But anyway, I think her whole thing was she wanted to make the entire world zombie dead, and she somehow helped use the power of Kamala Khan to help her, and then just put in Kamala Khan's head what she wanted to see.
See, so from what I remember from the What If episode, yes, that Scarlet Witch was the Queen of the Dead, and she was commanding the zombies by the end of that. And I get that she was basically it. Because the thing with Marvel zombies is, yes, they are zombies, but they also retain some of their unique character, like heroic or villain abilities.
Okay.
Like we saw Hawkeye still firing arrows at Kate Bishop. Right. He's trying to hunt her down to eat her.
Right.
We see Thor when he turns into a zombie. He still has like he command thunder. He's still the god of thunder.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's the whole niche with Marvel zombies. So they still do the Namor, which I actually really like the Namor zombie thing. That I thought was pretty cool.
Actually, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because
that was kind of cool, and them being on the submarine.
Yeah, when they did the whole when Baron Zemo was introduced and he commands the raft, because that's where he's supposed to be imprisoned or whatever. Yeah, they weren't just going to be safe forever. So bringing Namor in and and his people, that was a cool idea. And I kind of was like wondering what was going to go happen. And the second they show something like that, I'm like, yep, all right, here we go. It's cool. Again, another character that we haven't seen. was set up recently, and it does focus on that. It uses a lot of the current MCU characters that have been a focal one, which I think, all right, that I'll give them kudos for that because you do want to build some momentum here, going forward with the new crew. So that's the thing with Marvel Zombies, and also they all seem to they have some level of consciousness on some extent. Like we talked about it last week. We can also bring in the comics. You read Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness, which was one thing that they did. I read the original Marvel Zombies run, which was, where it kicked off, where Reed Richards brings the infection from another universe accidentally, and it overruns his universe. And then there's like crazy shit that happens, and one of the darkest thing that goes down in that is where, zombie Spider-Man is like, losing his mind about he ate Aunt May and MJ, like, but he still can speak of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it gets really dark. Like that if you get a chance, read the original one because it's pretty nuts.
I would like to. Yeah, I am curious about it.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. This doesn't ever go to those dark depths, but they do murder major MCU characters quite often. Like Kate Bishop dies, Riri Williams dies, Namor zombified, Thor zombified, Captain America is zombified. We get his torso fighting fucking Red Guardian at one point.
Yeah, that was crazy. Red Guardian was excited about that.
Yeah, which fits in with his character because he wants this epic showdown with Captain America any way he can get it. So I thought that was pretty funny. Yelena dies, and she's obviously a focal point now. Tony Stark, who is dead in the MCU, but like he kind of dies off camera because when we picked him up, Friday is commanding the Iron Man suit. She's kind of like the AI.
That's what I meant by the ghost of Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly. So, they do some dark stuff, and at the end, when Kamala, all her crew is about to die, like by various people, and she's supposed to do this to save them, but I just kind of feel like the end.
I think that's what she's trying to do. Yeah.
How? That's the part I didn't get. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I think it needed a bit more fleshing out story wise, because I didn't really I got the ending, but I don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what it was doing, I just don't understand what the implication is.
No, I legitimately don't know. Like I know Scarlet Witch got in her head, but what did Kamala Khan have to offer that she wanted? The bangles?
I don't know.
Like what? Like we don't get that. Now
But why would the bangles even matter to her? I mean, she's got way more power than that.
Yeah, that's the part.
It was different. Right. It was different when she was following what's her face around a multiverse of madness, because she needed that specific power to do what she wanted to do. Yeah, thank you, I forgot her name. But like there wasn't any, like it's almost as if they were like, okay, well, let's give her motivation from the movie, but they failed to connect the dots of why she needed that power.
Yeah. Now, I know this may or may not get additional episodes or a second season or something like that. I think that's probably, I know there's been talk of that as a possibility. They might be able to save this if they explain what the fuck happened. Like if this was a designed cliffhanger and they've stayed vague on purpose, I think we reserve the right to retroactively pull out back these critiques. But that's my critiques about it, honestly, because like I said, I guess I enjoyed it more than you did. I was invested until the ending, where it just seemed like just things started happening when I didn't quite know what the hell happened at the end. Now, if it's by design or not is the question.
Right, and I guess, and that's the thing, and I guess this is the thing we'll talk about when we get to Alien as well. Alien Earth is, if this is meant to be the end of this series, I don't think it works, because as you said, it's It's too ambiguous. If this is the end of season 1 and setting up something in season 2, then yeah, they very well could work. So we'll have to see what they do with it. But I don't think they know what's going on, right? Like they haven't announced anything.
No, I mean, not to my knowledge. There was not an official season 2 thing. I'm sure they'll need to see the popularity of this because I know there was a lot. Brad Wonderbaum is basically the guy who's in charge of Marvel TV. Like he's Kevin Feige's lieutenant for Marvel TV, and he recently spoke out about Daredevil Born Again is getting a season 3 already, right? And X-Men 97 got updates, and so did Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. But those 3 shows are the only ones he mentioned that I recall that said that he's like, hey, Marvel Studios has fully embraced the concept of making TV shows the way they're supposed to be, like traditionally made now. And that was supposedly what was hindering some of the previous stuff because they were making of them like movies, but apparently just that doesn't really jive.
Okay.
But he was saying that these shows will be back once a year around the same time, like traditional TV shows try to do. And that's what they want to do with those 3. Now, if Marvel Zombies is going to be one of those shows, and we're going to get a season 2, and maybe they're going to explain what the hell happened at the end of season 1 in that finale, okay, then you can save it. But as judged as currently constituted, I think it appears like they shit the bed tremendously in the finale at the moment. At least that's what it is.
Pulled a secret invasion on us.
Yeah, kind of. And I don't know. I will need more time for this to sit with me, but I don't think I'm going to end up hating the show like I hated Secret Invasion. Like Secret Invasion is the worst. I think we both agree the worst of anything Marvel Studios has put out on Disney Plus just yet.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's worse.
No. And this is not in that vein. I don't. There was more.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I'll say this. If they come out with season 2, I'll go in with an open mind as I always do. But the fact that they ended it this way without knowing if they were even going to do a season 2 kind of pisses me off because it means that they were saying we're okay with this being the ending.
Yeah, again, unless it's just information we don't have yet. I'm actually going to Google. Let me see if there is anything on. Maybe there is something that we can strike that from the record. Off the bat, because I agree with you. Like, oh, well, somebody has an ending explained YouTube. I mean, that's more Rick's thing than mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's some stuff here too. Well, there, blah 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 blah. All right. So as of 4 days ago, it has not been confirmed. But I also wonder if it was written as multiple seasons. So.
Right. I think that's the thing that I'm curious about. Like, if they wrote it as multiple seasons, I'm okay with it. If they wrote this to be 1 season and then they get a second season because they get greenlit, but they didn't plan it, that's when I would be like, I guess that was my whole point.
Yeah, and I'm again, I think if you get a season 2 and you do address it, then we can go back and strike this from the record. But as of right now,
absolutely,
that's what hampers it for me. The ending, I didn't love the ending of this, and I was one who was on board. Like I said, 3 and 75% of the finale until like the last 10 minutes of the finale, and I'm like, okay, maybe even last 5 minutes of the finale, and I was just like, okay, what the hell is that? Like, what is this? Come on. I was waiting for like a post-credit scene or something like that to like clear things up a little bit.
I was too. I actually looked because I usually forget, but with this I looked to see. I was like, is there a post-credit? It's got to be something, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. All right, so again, I think I don't know. I think it's like, hey, listen, if you're a Marvel fan and you're cool with it, I would suggest checking it out because there is a lot of cool stuff.
For sure.
But the ending has much to be desired in the sense of it almost kind of gets an incomplete to failing grade because we just don't know. So, and even if the season 2 is greenlit, it's not automatically forgiven. You got to address it.
No, it has to be
You
handled.
can't just be like, "No, we're good."
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad.
What are you talking about, boba tea? We didn't have anything like that.
It's not boba tea. What are you talking about? There's just zombies. That's it.
Yeah, there was zombies. That's all. Queen of the Dead. What's that? You read Anne Rice? Oh, you.
All right, so let's go ahead and shift it over then to Peacemaker season 2, episode 6, and this should be fun. So last week we predicted, I think correctly, that we were going to get the reveal of exactly what the hell is up with the best universe ever. And boy,
we did.
The internet wins again.
And but I'm going to say this. So when it was revealed, I thought to myself, wow, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they did something and it was predicted on the internet and they were right and they let it stand. But then I realized the whole fucking point was how easy it was to spot. Because Hardcore, as soon as they get there, says to Chris, like, yeah, I noticed 15 minutes after getting here, there's not one person of color around. And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course there are. So I think it was like this meta thing where we were supposed to get it as the audience. Everyone was supposed to get it before Chris does.
Yeah, and I guess we can start there. I mean, I think Chris doesn't get it because of how emotionally distracted he is throughout this entire season.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Fuck yeah.
So that's how I read it. So it's just,
It's not that he doesn't care. It's my dad and my brother, and I get the girl of my dreams, and everyone loves me here. That's all I'm paying attention to. I mean, the title of this episode was "Ignorance is Chris," right? Like, you take on ignorance is bliss. Like, the reason he didn't see it and everyone else saw it immediately was because he didn't want to see it, and everyone else, mortified. No one else had those blinders.
Yeah, he was mortified when he finds out. Like, his face drops immediately.
Yep. And it's he's not okay with it, but he's just, again, he gets everything he wants, and the only thing he has to sell is his humanity,
his humanity, his soul, his integrity, maybe, and everything like that. Yeah. I guess some of the points here is talking points we can hit through that I wanted to bring up here is, so we get to see Adrian right in the DCU. We'll do this because the former best universe ever, and James Gunn confirmed this, it's Earth X. That's
it is. Okay.
He confirmed this is Earth X, and for those who might not be aware, in DC, Earth X is where the Nazis won World War II. Like, that's the turning point in Earth X, right? And that's where it goes on. Like, actually, the Arrowverse, their first big crossover was the first or the second? It was Crisis on Earth X. And that,
I think it might have been the first.
I can't remember if it was the first or I think it was the first. Because they made it like a movie.
Yeah.
It was...
That was great. I remember that.
It was awesome. It's one of the best things that they ever did, to be completely honest. And I remember it came out around the same time as Justice League did. And I said at work, it did. And it made them look real bad. Because I was like, I remember being at work and talking with Tony at the time, right? And our friend, the Chief and Pro. Like, we used to talk about this stuff at work, like during lunch and everything. And I was like, guys, if I'm going to be completely honest, someone's got to say it. Crisis on Earth X is better than Justice League. It is a better Justice League movie than Justice League. It is. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was true. It was awesome.
No, that is 100% true. And around the same time, Arrow also did its version of Suicide Squad. And I remember watching that going, holy shit, this is better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like, we're going to call it as it is. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So James Gunn confirms this as Earth X, which I thought was actually, a little geeky moment out there. I'm like, all right, this is awesome. Like, how far is he going to go with this now? Like, are we going to get, like, Nazi Superman? Are we going to, like, how far can this go now? That would be crazy.
That's actually a good point. I mean, that Nazi Superman would be nuts.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if they would take that opportunity to do Red Sun, make him a Soviet Superman instead.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but in Earth X there was a Nazi Superman. Like, it's just the way it is. Like,
oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they wanted to turn it, so there is that. I don't know. I think the possibilities are so wide open now for these last couple episodes of what we could see on Earth X. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But in a DCU,
it's absolutely crazy, and I love the way it gets revealed.
Oh, it's very
the American flag.
Yeah, that's when it slaps you in the face. But I want to save it because the moment when all our theories got confirmed immediately was wild. That was wild. Because it was subtle in a way, but whatever. I'll save that for a second.
Okay.
As far as the DCU goes, we get Adrian's mom, and we get his inner workings of Adrian Chase's house, in Vigilante's house, which was probably everything we thought it was going to be. And Jason, I wanted to ask you immediately, because one of the things his mom mentions is that, oh, you have friends? Wow. I haven't seen anybody of his friends since the D&D group broke up.
Yeah.
Would you be in Adrian Chase's D&D group?
No, I would not. That guy scares me. He is the scariest of anyone on this show.
Yeah, because of how he is obsessed with being quizzed about random animals and seems to be so jolly and giddy about stuff, but then he's a completely murderous psychopath.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that.
And he knows nothing about the animals. I don't understand it.
It's so great. It makes it fucking hilarious. Sure, he does absolutely nothing. He knows jack shit about it. Oh man. But apparently he has loads of cash that he has acquired through blood money and a bunch of drugs and baby babies in his basement.
That was crazy. Yes. That was insane. And I love there's a bio goes, didn't you just borrow $10 from me because you said you were broke and you couldn't afford breakfast? And he goes, I don't spend this money. This is blood money. So which means he just collects it and keeps it in this warehouse. And everyone is like, yeah, that's terrible. They start stuffing their pockets.
Such bad money. Oh my God. Let's just start. Yeah. Economos, out of Bayou, Harcourt, they're just stuffing money in everywhere they can. Oh man.
It's so funny.
But his whole jam then is that he wants to get to the other Earth to track down the other Earth's Adrian Chase, like the other vigilante. He is obsessed with it. That is his number one mission now.
And it is fucking hysterical when he does. It is fucking hysterical watching him play off himself.
Yeah, and I guess we can just go with his thing. So he does meet himself. He goes into his own house. He notices the front thing is a squirrel instead of a chipmunk, and he thinks it's hilarious because that's the only change.
Yeah.
Until he sees his dad is still there, and he's like, "Oh, my dad isn't gay in this universe." Okay, he's sitting with my mom on the couch. That's awesome.
Right.
And he goes and he runs into himself, and they're having a blast. They're having a ball, laughing laughing their asses off, until Peacemaker's brought up. And then all of a sudden the mood changes instantly. And it's like, oh, well, I hate that guy. He's the reason I joined the Sons of Liberty. And that's when he's like, what? And we just get that little thing here of, that's when the breadcrumbs start to form.
Yep.
I don't know. With that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And it made me think like our conversation back when, like, maybe it's the second episode when we first introduced to the Sons of Liberty, where we're like, I mean, it seems pretty awful what they did, but we don't know what kind of universe they're in. So now
we did say that.
We did say that. And so now it's like, okay, well, they were blowing up Nazis. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden the Sons of Liberty don't look so bad now, right?
Right.
We do get a huge cameo in this episode, though, because Rick Flag is trying to track down what's going on with this whole interdimensional thing, and he goes to Belle Rave. He goes to see a prisoner, and that prisoner is none other than Lex Luthor. And we get a cursing Lex Luthor.
Cool. I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't at all. And this Lex Luthor, he gets to curse in this now. He's dropping like all this shit, and the conversation he has, though, is that Rick Flag wants help tracking this whole thing down. He ends up offering him a scanner to try to track this thing down. That's all he can. But like Lex Luthor is like, well, what do I get out of this, though? And he's like, well, I can't get you out of here. I can get you transfer, but maybe a chance at redemption. And that's kind of the last we see of Lex Luthor immediately. He's not in this a lot. But supposedly, this is supposed to be setting up his story arc in Man of Tomorrow, which is the next time we're going to see Lex Luthor. Because it's basically supposed to be a Lex Luthor Superman team-up movie that they're going to be forced to kind of team up for some shit. Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be a few years before we see that pay off.
That's all right. I'm here for it. I love the whole trope of the good guy and the bad guy have to get together. Like the time He-Man and Skeletor had to band together to save Christmas.
That is true. That's one of the best examples, I think, that we've ever gotten.
I think so.
I think so also.
We covered that, didn't we?
Absolutely, we did. That was phenomenal. I so much got a kick out of that He-Man run. Like, it was like, the nostalgia was just like so awesome.
There was some good stuff in that He-Man run.
Yeah. But at that same time, Economos and Adebayo are in Peacemaker's house in Earth X, because they do cross over. They go. Harcourt they all get caught in there, but Harcourt gets caught by the brother. And he's like, hey, I'll bring you over to Argus so you can meet up with Chris. He's supposed to meet you there. And he's like, okay. And they have this weird, hilarious conversation, about the snow globe and how it was his mother's and all this other stuff. And he was going to give it to her. He just sent her to pick it up. Like, it was so awkward. And then you have the crew over there saying, don't go to Argus. Don't do all of this. Obviously, this is a bad fucking idea. And she decides to go with it anyway. And he takes her over there. And she gets caught by this dog, this drug sniffing bomb sniffing dog, because she has some of the cocaine spilled on her from a vigilante's house before they crossed over, and she gets arrested, and they got to run blood tests and yada yada. But then Peacemaker meets up with her, and they have a conversation in there because she's getting interrogated, and so it ends up being that they finally have the talk that they've always had to, Chris goes, he doesn't give up on this. He asks her straight out, like, what's up? Like, what happened on the boat? Just tell me now. Stop avoiding it. Does it have to do with, the fact I killed Rick Flag? And she actually kind of says, no, not really. She says it's more about her being a broken person Like, I am the worst.
Yeah.
Like, it's more about her self-deprecating self, which I thought was kind of cool. That was an interesting twist there, because they were kind of misdirecting us that it was going to have more to do with Rick Flag Jr. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, but completely earned too, because
Yes.
they clearly set up this woman who hates herself, like really,
Mhm.
like just in that scene when she gets a shit kicked out of her a couple episodes back and she's happy about it, like she
Yeah.
hates herself. So I thought that was a really well set up misdirect.
Oh, I fully agree with you. No, you can. It was definitely something that was from the jump. Um, and they have their talk, and it's there. And Chris it is. I thought it was heartwarming to an extent where after all of this, Chris is still like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. He still loves her no matter what. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But then obviously that gets interrupted because then, it's like, all right, she's cleared. She doesn't have drugs in her and stuff like that. And that's when they're walking through Argus. And that's when she's like, well, no people of color here. It's a little weird. So we're getting the setup that,
yeah,
that it's all coming. But the big moment is in the house where Adebayo and Economos are there. And Adebayo decides, all right, I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to get some air, clear this up. And she does. She's just walking around these picket white fenced suburbs.
fucking crazy.
And this
Waving to
woman
people.
drives by and waving to people. This woman in this pickup truck drives by, gives her a fucking look. And I'm already like, oh my God. Everyone was
You know what's going down at that point.
Yeah. And she goes and she's like, she talks to Chris's brother and they have a talk. And then it's like, you hear the quote, one of them got out. The blacks. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you see a whole.
Yep. They start chasing her.
Everyone, the whole town is chasing her. She's trying to outrun the entire town. And it's like, holy shit, that's going down. We get, with Peacemaker, he's walking through Argus. He's weirded out by it. He looks at this American flag, and instead of the stars, it's a Nazi fucking swastika.
I love that little subtle unfurling of the flag. That was nice.
Yeah, and he's like, what the fuck?
Shit.
Yeah, like, what is going on here? And then we get back at the house. Economos gets caught in there by Blue Dragon. And this, I thought, was a cool character moment, though, because he immediately spills the beans because that was the setup of him being the biggest pussy and he can't look anyone in the eye and yada, yada, and all of that. And he tells him about Chris. He tells him about everything, tells him about the fucking interdimensional thing, yada, all of that. And he obviously is like, oh my fucking God. He's going to snap.
No, it's not going to be good.
No, he's absolutely
it's not going to be good. He stabs Economos in the hand to pin him down. There was a cool moment too. I give Robert Patrick this moment because Economos is hiding, and like Blue Dragon comes in. He's he doesn't have a suit on, and he's looking in the fridge, and he's just like not even clocking Economos. And the second Economos moves, he just spins around and chucks a can at him. Like, I thought that was a great moment because he had been clocking him that whole time, just waiting for him, but he wasn't giving. Robert Patrick, the actor, was giving no indication of that. I thought it was such a good moment.
Yeah, no, he played that off pretty nicely. I wasn't sure if he saw him or not either. I didn't see that part coming.
I didn't.
And then we get Earth X Hardcore walking into Argus because during most of this episode, like, we get Peacemaker and her are having this romantic time at her house and stuff like that, and they have obviously slept together and everything. And she's going to work late, and she strolls in and she sees DCU Hardcore, immediately wants her arrested and everything like that. And that's essentially where the episode ends. Like,
yeah,
that's
that was a good
Oh, actually, hold on. There was one thing that was mentioned in Earth X that I wanted to get your thoughts on. There's
Okay.
while
Let's
they're
do it.
so the brother and DCU Harcourt are driving to Argus, and they're talking about music, and then we find out that in Earth X, Mick Jagger is the lead singer of the Beatles. Your
I
thoughts?
did. Yes, that's true. That's true. Oh no, no. I like Mick Jagger a lot. I like the Stones a lot, but
Mhm.
I'm trying because he was the lead singer instead of John, right? So
Yeah.
his voice and Paul's voice do not harmonize. I can't imagine them harmonizing well. So no.
Amongst other things, this could be one of the reasons you would definitely not want to find yourself in Earth X. Amongst other things.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say it's probably the second worst thing about this universe. The first being, of course, the Nazis in charge and the rampant racism.
Yes. And then we have this, apparently. Oh, that's great. I figured you definitely had something to share on that one. I want to see where that would go.
Oh, absolutely. I thought that was hysterical, and I did think about it. That's why I had an answer at the ready, because I did when they brought it up. I did think because I like Mick Jagger. How would that sound? But I just don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good mix.
I'm trying to find. I'm looking up the episode count of this season because I want to know how many more we have left. Oh, 8 episodes. All right, so we only got 2 left.
All right,
which is about what I figured. Though I figured it was about 8.
Yeah, this one goes quick though. Like so far, I don't think the show has given us one bad episode.
No, the show's firing on all cylinders. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the shit out of this. So, I guess we'll see where if it sticks to landing or not. But it's definitely right there with season 1. If not, maybe
yes, I agree.
Possibly better. I don't know. That's I think we'll wait to see what happens there.
And we're gotta wait next week to see what happens to Judo Master because they got to do something with that.
Yeah, he was like just mentioned. Like Rick Flag was like, "Hey, anything on Judo Master?" Nothing. So you can only imagine the shit he's gonna walk into.
Yeah, so I'm curious if he is out and about already, or I'm just curious what's going on with his character.
I think I'm going to call it right now. He's going to get into trouble when he goes to the store to buy Cheetos.
Oh, you think so? All right, I can see that. I'm
going to say it right now. That's how he's going to find out what the fuck is going on in this universe.
You know what? I really hope that's what happens. I really do.
Like he's going to get into some shit where they're going to like deny him the Cheetos too.
Yeah, right. Like we don't serve your kind, and he's gonna. What the hell are you talking about? Like it's gonna be something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. All right, so then let's just keep rolling on here. We'll jump over to Prime Video for Gen V Season 2, Episode 4. What did you think?
I loved it. I mean, this show, I'm going to give the show one of the highest compliments I can give to a spin-off show, right? Which is, this doesn't feel like a spin-off. It feels like I'm watching The Boys, except it's a different cast of characters that I like just as much.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like,
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, like I watched this episode, and then I thought back, and I was thinking today, like, my thoughts on the episode, and I went, because Homelander's talked about it. We'll get into that. I'll go over the episode real quick, but and I thought, oh yeah, he wasn't really in this episode, was he? And then I thought, like, oh no, why would he be? This isn't his show. But it just feels so much like The Boys that it feels like, well, he should be. He just wasn't on this episode. Like that's how good it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. This show, it feels like it's in the same universe, clearly, and they don't do they do a great job of giving you enough to establish that without beating you over the head with it. Like we get Firecracker's Truth Bomb show peppered in here and there based around what's going on this. I think it's also funny that we get like the Vought TV when they're like things that are happening at God U, but it's like, oh, this is woke, and oh, this is this, and you're like, what? And then they're just throwing the word out there and throwing the label on there just for the fuck of it.
Yep.
And that's communicated on here. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, one of the times I thought for a second, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, I got it. And then just started laughing. I'm like, oh, that's okay. We're good there. I thought that was funny.
Show is so good.
And of course, to make you feel at home with the boys, we get the back of someone's nutsack and asshole sitting on the fucking toilet.
Oh God, Why? Why the boys? Why?
But that's the only reason, because it's the fucking boys. And it was totally unnecessary.
It was completely unnecessary, but when Cricket got out of the toilet bowl before I saw shit, I was like, all right, that's fine. I won't complain. I just because you know what, the boys could give a shit.
Literally, Jason, I thought that scene was gonna go a completely different way. I really did.
Same.
Okay, all right. So we're there, because I thought we was gonna get really bad.
I thought it was gonna be spraying. I thought maybe she'd be grabbing a log to not drown. Like I thought bad stuff was about to go down. And what happened was not as bad by any means like that I thought was going to happen.
Oh, it could have been significantly worse than that. Even though it's almost like in Wayne's World, was it Wayne's World 2? When he's like talks about the naked Indian. He's like, and did you think it was a tad bit unnecessary that you had to see his backside or whatever? And I'm like, did you think, Jason, it was a tad bit unnecessary to see his ball sack and asshole who's sitting on the toilet?
Just a tad. That was. But again, it's what you get when you buy the ticket, take the ride, right? I mean, it's what you get in this show. So I was just happy I didn't get shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think another good episode, though. I think this one picks up the pace with a lot of it. There's a lot of payoffs there. And the big thing at the end, when we find out finally what's up with Cypher, that's fucked up.
Yeah, no, this was that's crazy. So I mean, this episode, like, it's a simple episode, but a lot happens. Does a lot of lifting. It's the blowback of Jordan pretty much just coming clear and saying this is what happened. Starlighter's attacker I did. You find out that Kate is like, I don't know what he's talking about, what they're talking about. Trans now becomes a negative thing because remember they were spinning it to be positive. Now they're spinning it to be negative, and it's the trans woke agenda. And Cypher pretty much tells Jordan and Marie, you're fighting, and neither of you are going to throw the match, and Marie's going to win. And they're like, and Jordan's like, but what if I do this? What if I do that? And Cypher, I really like the character. And this actor is great. Because he's just like, you don't have a fucking choice. And then they're like, well, what are you gonna do? And like, I'll send Cricket back to prison pretty much. And they're like, no, we can't do that. So master manipulator, which goes perfectly
in more ways than one.
Yeah, exactly. Because when he trains with Marie, he has this really cool, and again, he's doing Magneto stuff, right? He's like, move the blood, but don't break the bags. And then she's doing it with a goat, but that goat has two eyes. Don't trust it. And then, so he's trying to get her to push her powers, And then you find out, like when she goes to fight Jordan, that he just hijacks Jordan's body and makes it clear to Marie who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And she has no choice but to defend herself fully. And she wins by like holding him up and using the technique that Cypher taught her, holding him up. And then she's able to like let him go. So I like that's kind of that's what goes on with them. And I think that like from start to finish, I thought their arc was great.
It is, and I'm glad you brought that up because I do think one of the most, besides the reveal of Cypher and what his powers are, I thought one of the most interesting things here was the conversation with Cypher and Marie when they're talking, and it goes around like, well, you can do X, Y, and Z, and he's like, no, she's like, no, I can't, and he's like, yes, you can. I think you're a bit more powerful than you think you are. Like, you can be the most powerful. Remember, you were supposed to be Project Odessa, and she's still like not wanting to go with like why she's so important. He's like, you can be one of the most powerful. You can be more powerful than Homelander. And she's like, you really think so? And he stays quiet for a second. And she asks these great questions like, why would Vought want that? And he doesn't really answer that. We're thinking, we know that Vought knows that Homelander is, they're just bowing to him because he's completely out of control right now. And they can't do anything to him. So now you got to look at it, big picture now, boys universe. They're trying to hype up Marie for a showdown with Homelander, so someone who can possibly try to rein this motherfucker in.
Yep, because they're scared of him because he's unhinged. I was thinking about the last season when he went back to the doctors that raised him. Like he's doing shit like real sadistic shit like that. So yeah, of course they want him dead. And I think it's interesting that this isn't a new plan. Maria's what, 18, 19? Which means they were incubating a safeguard for Homelander 18, 19 years ago. That's what Project Odessa is, a way to rein Homelander in. Because I think even at that young age, they knew what was coming.
Yep. And they were trying to cover their own asses with this. And now, obviously, they're like, all right, you can't take out all the supers with that fucking virus. That was also an attempt to take down Homelander, and that obviously went awry. But now, if we have a soup that can actually do it, that she exists, we just need to get her trained up enough to be able to do it. I mean, I would only imagine Marie is going to be involved in the final season of The Boys here with however the fuck that show's going to end.
I think, I think they're definitely laying groundwork in this show. I think Marie is like, if they're going the Homelander gets killed route, Marie, I think, is going to have a big hand in doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't think she will do it because, of course, it's going to have to be Butcher, but I think she's going to be a very big part of it.
Yeah, maybe to weaken him up enough so Butcher can eventually, do it or something. I don't know. Like, that's what I really thought. That conversation was the most interesting part of the entire episode. Granted, an episode where a lot of cool shit happens and a lot of fun stuff goes down, but I was like, I kind of leaned up in my chair a bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, now the big plan is becoming very clear here.
Yeah, no, and I love that, and it kind of humanizes things going on at Vought. Not really, but kind of, like, because at least it's like the enemy of my enemy, right? Like,
yeah,
Homelander is all of our enemies. So, so I thought that was cool. Let's see. Then we get Kate. Kate's whole thing is her powers are malfunctioning. She got them back, but they don't work as well as they used to. Her and Jordan have a really cool scene because I forgot they used to be close friends, where they kind of just Kate's like, you fucking tried to kill me. Jordan's like, you fucking tried to sell me out. I hate that I'm so mad at you. I hate that I think I might be mad at you forever. hey, you remember the time when you had 4 dicks in your mouth or whatever? And Jordan's like, yeah, but it was only one person. He was hot. And they kind of laugh. And I thought that was a really nice character moment. Really like, yeah, they're friends. That's why they were so angry. And Jordan's a hothead to begin with. And so they decide that they're going to break into Cypher's house so they can see what his secret is. And she uses her power on the security guard and says, "Hey, give me the keys and fuck off." And he goes, "Okay." And he picks up a garden and starts fucking the garden.
Of course, and the only show that would give us The Boys would give us that's the version of fuck off.
Yeah, that is. Which actually, it's funny. Wishmaster it reminded me of Wishmaster 2 when someone wishes that his lawyer would go fuck himself, and yeah, it's a Wishmaster night.
The fact that you saw the sequel is just yeah, it's astonishing.
I have.
I know you dabble. You dabble.
Wishmaster as a character. I do dabble. I dabble. But so they get into the house and they get into his secret spot, and it's just this old guy in a hyperbolic chamber. Now, I want to ask you this, Ed. He says that's his father, and like you know, he's okay. Thanks for asking. Do you think that that's his father, or do you think that there's something more nefarious going on with the guy in the hyperbolic chamber?
I suspect that's Godolphin.
Okay, I like that.
Because of the burn, it looks like there's burn marks. Reminded me very much of Deadpool. And that whole thing with the original Deadpool movie, the first one with the chambers they have.
Yeah, right.
I won because if I remember right, in the opening scene of the first episode, the season premiere, we did see there wasn't like an explosion or a fire that had to do with Godolphin. And he's been talked about a lot.
Yes,
so I'm starting to wonder.
He has been. Yeah, that's right.
Him.
And everyone took the serum, the experimental serum, made them die and implode and real gross stuff. So yeah, that's true. Maybe that's what the serum was doing. And yeah, all right, I like that a lot.
Okay, that's my theory.
I'm fully behind this theory.
Okay. Yeah, I think is it Thomas? Yeah, I think it's Thomas Godolphin. That's what I believe that is.
Yeah, because you're right. They have brought him up a lot this season, so that would make a lot of sense.
Okay.
All right, and then we got. Oh wait, so Kate. They break in, they get out. Cypher has this great thing, like he texts Kate, "I need to see you," and he's like, "Kate, we live in the fucking world of computers or cameras. You didn't think I'd see you? What are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly.
And Marie has a theory that Cypher's not, that he's a human. He doesn't have any powers because she didn't sense any V in his blood. And so Marie is trying to set him up. Not Marie. Kate's trying to set him up to admit that he's a human on camera, right? And so cue my girl Cricket deciding that she's going to save the day. She shrinks down. She gets her friends, the girl who has this powers of 60 seconds. And we find out the other friend can grow and manipulate her pubic hair.
We did see that there are some people who get V and they get completely absurd and useless powers. But she does use it.
Yeah, no, she does. I would say it's not useless. It's not Morlock level.
No.
Because
not quite that.
Cricket, no, it's not that bad. Cricket goes into the pipe with what she needs. I think the camera, the cell phone, and the microphone. The guard comes back in, closes the pipe, it floods it, and the girl who could manipulate her pubic hair, used it to save Cricket. She gets the pipe back, but that's how Cricket winds up in the toilet bowl and sees Cypher's ass and balls. Yep. She gets out. So we already talked about the ass and balls. We don't need to spend any more time. There was no shit, thankfully. She goes out to Kate. She sets up the thing for Kate. Kate's doing her thing. Cypher comes back out, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you want me to admit that I'm human then?" Because Kate's baiting him. And he stops and he goes, "If you're going to get from over here, that this is my better side." Then he looks over at the camera and he's like, "Oh, upshot. I'm all nostril." This guy is fantastic, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, he's like 10 steps ahead of him. And it's just like, yeah, he's just easily. Well, we got a comment here from Tim, by the way.
So, hey, Tim. Haven't seen you, man. Miss you.
What's up, Tim? I'm the Prime Eagle. If you want to be, you can be the Prime Eagle. No, go for it.
You are, Tim. You are the Prime Eagle.
Checking us out. So yeah, so you can go ahead.
So, yeah, and then that's when she's like, "Well, I know you're a human and this and that," and he goes, "Oh, okay, I have no powers. I'm a human. Just watch." And that's when he takes over Jordan. And I love this. This again, this reminded me of like Magneto in Age of Apocalypse, where when he's training Marie, she's like trying to use her hand. You know how we see like the comic movies and the comic books, and he's like, "Don't raise your hand. That's not going to do anything. Focus." And the way he tips her off that it's not Jordan is when he starts beating the shit out of her without pulling any punches. After they kiss, which I thought was interesting because they start the match off with a kiss, and then he takes over Jordan. And then Marie puts her hand up, and he goes, "I told you not to put that hand up. It doesn't do anything." And that she knows who she's fighting. I thought so well done.
Yeah, I do love the fact that, like you said, even without using his powers, he's a master manipulator, which obviously shows his powers are basically he can mind control everybody and or basically use them, because he also uses the term meat puppet when talking about humans in general,
Yes, he does.
or people in general, right? He doesn't even say just humans; it's just people are just meat puppets.
Yeah, and he even says, going back with the goat, when he's like, all right, when he tries to make her move the goat, and she says, "Well, I mean, it's I can't move. It's a living thing," and he's like, "That's a bag of flesh." It's the same thing, or it's a bag of blood. It's the same thing. Like, so it's true. He uses that analogy a couple of times because to him, you're right. It's like, no, these are just creatures, things to be moved.
Yeah, I can just do it to anybody I want, like whenever I feel like it. So, yeah, I mean, you said another Dynamite episode. I think. I mean, this show is and the boys. This whole thing, they just. Diabolical was the only thing where we're kind of like, all right, that was kind of fun, but it wasn't like.
Was that the cartoon?
Yeah, that was the thing where it was like fine, but it was also not like, it was just like a side thing. It was like
that wasn't meant to be serious, because that was literally Morlocks, right? That was just like here are all the Morlocks of the universe.
Yeah, and until we got the Homelander origin story.
Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was actually pretty cool. But all right, then let's keep it rolling here then, and that brings us to the season finale series. That's what we will talk about at the end in a minute.
That's what we need to talk about.
This is the finale. We'll just call it the finale. It's episode 8 of Alien Earth, which dropped on Hulu and FX last Tuesday night. Did they stick the landing, Jason?
And here's the thing. If this is the end of season 1, yes. If this is all we're getting from this, almost.
All right.
But
I think they stuck the landing.
I don't think okay, fair enough.
No. I think they stuck the landing because I'm going to preface though, there's no chance in hell that we're not getting a season 2 or this is leading into a movie. There's no chance in hell.
Okay. As long as they do that, then it absolutely stuck the landing. Yeah. Because I agree with you. I think if this is setting up something, and it sounds like it is, then yes, they absolutely stuck the landing. But if it isn't, then I would have to say no, just because it opens up a couple things that it didn't resolve that I need to see resolved if this story is over.
Yeah, there's too many things that look like it was very intentionally set up. Not in the way we talked about Marvel Zombies in our first segment. There were things intentionally set up for future storytelling, and you can see that's very clear.
I agree.
So there's no way that there isn't more of this. I know the show's been extremely popular with critics and fans, so I just think the only question is this leading into a movie, or is this leading into a second season? My guess, if I had to put money on this, it will be a second season.
Which I hope that's what it is, because I like the long form storytelling for this. Like, I think if they tried to do this in a movie, I don't think it would be bad, but I don't think it would be as good of an experience as an 8-episode like miniseries like we got here.
So we get right off the bat. Wendy is talking to the Lost Boys. They are trapped in a prison that they also know, like Prodigy knows, this prison's not going to hold. Like, they know that. It's just a matter of time. But for right now, it's buying us some time until they decide they want to get out. Basically, and that's it. Spoiler alert, by the end of the episode, they decide they want to get out. But Wendy wants to flip the script. Yeah, no, exactly. But Wendy says right off the bat, her intention is she wants to flip the script on who is installing fear, who fears who. She's like, we fear them. We shouldn't. You know, like, and there's a lot of wanting of revenge about what happened to them. Like, you took us, we were children. We can't be adults. We are not allowed to be children either. We don't know what the fuck we are. You guys fucked us up.
Yeah.
Now they fully realize that.
Yep.
And that's why they're pissed. You know.
Yep. And it really drives home the point that was made a couple episodes ago. Like, did we just kill a bunch of children? And I think they answer that question, yes. Like, these aren't the same people that were the sick kids that were put in the ground, like, at all. And it's when they try to survive pretending they are that they get in trouble. And this is them like, no. I mean, we got one kid who caused the doctor to get killed because he had to save his family, but that's not something a kid would be capable of. You have Wendy controlling the xenomorphs and using them as her own, personal bodyguards. You've got the one who thought she was pregnant, like, she ripped the guy's jaw from his mouth. Like, these are, and you do get this nice scene of the graves. Like, they revisit that, like, and that's symbolically, like, the kids going, even them knowing, like, yeah, no, that's not us anymore.
Yeah, there's something else. They don't know what quite, but there's something else. And I mean, they're obviously correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's the moral dilemma they're going to have to be wrestled with going forward. Like, they obviously have the minds of who they were, but they clearly, through these experiences of just these 8 episodes, it's changed them obviously forever.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's the thing, is they have the memories of the person they were, but they're not that person anymore. They just have those memories, and like up till 8 episodes ago, nothing challenged that, but this challenged that, and it made them all realize, no, that's just, none of us are those people anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So Wendy also, during this, she starts touching the screen. She goes in and she traps this group of soldiers in a fucking elevator, and she's about to blow them up. But she is full out, no holds barred in this finale. And they do escape, though. She's very angry. And when you make a 13-year-old angry, but you give them the means to carry out their anger, this is the kind of shit that happens then. because now they're gonna get,
Yep.
it's gonna be unhinged. Um, and she also helps break Moro out from his prison. Right, she goes in and does that because he's been locked up in there, and with her brother, but she remotely does it, gets them out of there. He has this like metal thing on it, which he beats somebody to fucking death with to get out of there. He takes it
Oh
off
my
because he has that
god.
blade in
Yeah.
there. He pounds that guy into just oblivion. Like sauce.
That was great. He pulls like, hey brother, you got any Havanas? I want to smoke them. Pow, pow,
Yeah.
pow.
She obviously frees herself and the Lost Boys, but then they run into Cavalier. And this was actually very interesting, is where Cavalier has this conversation with them. And we get his entire, basically, background in this one shot, right? So we find out that the boy genius had a father who used to drink a lot and would install fear into him. And his motivation was to not be his father and everything. And he builds a synth when he's 6. And that synth murders his father. And
Yep.
I guess that, and I'm assuming you're on board with this. Who the synth that he has, the older guy, that's the synth he built when he was 6. That's his father, essentially.
100%.
Okay, and I also think the likeness is of his father as well. He made him look like his father. On top of that,
Yes. Oh no, 100%, because he says, well, you know what? I was a boy genius. I could make myself a billionaire at that age, but I was still young. I needed a figurehead. So absolutely, that is the spitting image of his dad, and I think he was programmed to raise him, quote unquote, because he even says like, if it were in my programming to tell him when I think he's wrong, I'd tell him he's making a mistake. Somebody says something like that, and but yeah, absolutely, that is his dad.
Yeah, he programmed his dad to be the dad he wanted him to be, essentially, and with the guardrails to not do anything. So I thought that was interesting, and also to the fact that he is his father. He didn't want to be his father, but he is his father because he's treating the Lost Boys like his father treated him. So I thought that was also some pretty deep shit.
I thought that was awesome, and it comes back to roost on him, just like it came back to roost on his father.
Oh, yes.
But I think, unlike his dad, I think he's kind of proud of them.
Yeah, because that look he has on his face at the end in one of the last shots, he's sick to the point where he's just like, I did it.
Yep, and because she's like, now we rule, and we don't know what that means, right? But like, everyone else looks terrified, and he is so ecstatic.
Yeah, it's awesome. We also get Morrow and Kirsch, and I think you called it last week that we were getting that showdown this week, and they have an all-out drag them out battle royal in this one, and it's
bad. Like at first, when he breaks Kirsch's back, I was like, oh no, man, I like Morrow more, but Kirsch went down too easy. But then Kirsch starts kicking his ass with a broken back and takes him down, and it was a good fight.
It was a really good fight, and I'm glad we finally got that because that was like being set up obviously the past couple episodes here.
Oh yeah, and I think the payoff is great too when the Lost Boys come in to Kirsch thinks they're there to help him. They're not. They just stabilize him. And Morrow knows he's fucked because Morrow goes, I never hurt your parents. And just fucking knocks him out. And I love that moment because that was the moment where they go, no, the past is gone. Kirsch, we're not going to help you, but Morrow, we're also not going to fucking help you. We help ourselves now. And they put them both in the cell. I love that moment.
Yeah, I agree. But then I guess let's get to the situation with the Eye. So the Eye, who we've raved about for an entire season here, We
Yes.
predicted it was going to end up in Cavalier. I still think that is pending by the end of this.
I agree. If here's the thing, I said that thinking this was going to be the series finale.
Yeah.
Now that I know it's likely the season finale, then yeah, that's got to happen eventually. Because the Eye escapes.
Yeah, and he's still talking shit, like to this Eye as well. So
Yes.
I still think that stands. But the Eye goes to get Joe. Wendy has this kind of like quick battle with the Eye and fights him off a couple of times where I started to wonder, like, was he going to get Joe or not? And it almost happens a couple of times. There's a couple of close
Almost
calls.
happens. I wasn't sure either, and that's the beauty of the show because they very easily could have killed Joe. The whole reason Boy Cavalier chooses him is because he tells the Eye, "I'm still going to keep you weak. I don't trust you." So they lure him in there. But I'll tell you something. When Wendy grabbed the Eye and threw it to the ground, I was like, "No, don't kill the Eye! Please don't stop it!"
You feared for the Eye.
I did, and if I'm going to be honest, I think the only reason I have any reservation about this sticking the landing is because what I need resolved is more Eye stuff. Like I need to know more about what's going on with that species.
Yeah, we need the Eye to end up in the Boy Genius by the end of this, however long this goes on for. Yeah, it has to.
And we need the Eye talking. And I think that's like I thought I was going to get the Eye in a body where he could communicate, and then I didn't get it, and I was like, "Oh, fucking Eye."
So let's get to that then, because I do have questions about that. So with the Eye eventually escapes and wanders around, and then finds the doctor with his chest burst open on the beach, and he jumps into the doctor and resurrects the doctor. Number one, I was not aware that the Eye can sort of resuscitate a dead host. I wasn't sure about that, but I guess that's the case to an extent.
Yeah, and I had some reservations, but then I did think about it. Like, by the time the Eye is done doing its thing in a live host, it's dead anyway. So I think it's like, I don't think there's a difference to the Eye. I think it's like, it can manipulate it because it can get into your brain. Like, I don't think it matters.
Okay. But can it communicate now is the question.
I don't know. That's a great question. Can it communicate just through a body that was living? Because we don't know
the human body right now.
Deterioration this body is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it is. But what damage was done?
Exactly. No. I don't know. I'm very curious to know next time we see the Eye if it's able to communicate or not. I don't know. So we also get Wendy at one point questioning exactly. She said she doesn't know what she is. She tells her brother straight up, "I don't know. I'm not Wendy. I'm not your sister. I'm not any of this." That's when she's like, "I can't be a child. I can't be an adult. I don't know what I am, but I know I am angry. I am, she feels rage, and she's gonna fucking act on it." And that's what she has the Lost Boys doing this. And like I said, by the end of the episode, they have the prison that they were in. You have Cavalier chained up to the fence, completely tied up there. And that's when there's that demented look on his face, like you said, of pride.
Yep.
You get Kirsch.
He's almost like Christ. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like crucified. Yeah. Like he's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. But Kirsch is in there. Morrow is in there. Female doctor's in there. They've got them all rounded up. And they have the Lost Boys, and they have both xenomorphs now. They have the fully grown one, and they have the fucking baby. Yeah. They have everything right now. And that's when, like you mentioned earlier, she says, "I don't know what it means, but I know we rule now." And they have their own fucking island to rule right now. With Utani knows nothing about this, so we'll see where that goes. But they have their own island,
but they are
own right now.
And the Utani people are coming to the island, right? Like that was part of the cliffhanger. Like
I would imagine there's
because
more coming.
they're there to go get Moro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're
Like
not.
I
Yeah,
think they
they still
say
got
like
more.
more is coming.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll pick up when it does. Um, and I think, Wendy also drops the thing to Cavalier about Peter Pan, because the whole Peter Pan thing that's been going on
Oh, so
with
good.
this. When she's like,
That was such
"You're
a nice
here,"
such a nice monologue.
yeah, like, Peter Pan gets angry. Wendy doesn't. Was it Wendy doesn't? Wendy grows up and stuff like that, and he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a bad thing and stuff like that. Kind of like right now, like you loved me, you thought I was this, you thought you were Peter Pan, and everything, but like, I've grown up now essentially.
And then she has that moment where she goes, but you think you're Peter Pan, but you're not, because Peter Pan never grew up. It's like you were never a child. You were always an angry old man or something like that. Like I thought that was like so gutting of his character.
Yeah. But man, I'm bummed that this is over for now. I need some confirmation that we're getting more and when we're getting it, and hopefully it's fucking soon.
Same. Yeah, this was great start to finish. Not a bad episode, not bad moments. And man, again, man, that fucking eye is so interesting. Like I had xenomorphs on the plate, and I was like, bring the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, that I didn't see coming at all. Oh.
Me? You're doing it now. You're doing it. Now we're seeing eye to eye.
Boom! Oh boy, that's great.
No.
Yeah, but listen,
this is my dad's humor,
No, this is great, man. I recommended the show to everyone who I know who likes Alien a little bit or not. Like, even if you're new to the franchise, you can jump in here as an endpoint and watch it, and then if you want to see more, then go for the movies. You can stop after Aliens. You just do Alien Romulus, Aliens, and you could probably skip Alien 3. You don't really need Resurrection.
But it's fun enough.
Resurrection's fun enough, from what I recall. Alien 3, though.
Yeah. No.
We will soon.
We will, and we'll talk about it. But I actually, that's who's the director of that? That's rated 7, right? David Fincher. I love him as a director.
Fight Club also.
So and Fight Club, actually, which that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So he's a fantastic director, but I think he does talk about it. Like, I think he did some commentary. Like, it's his vision was in direct opposition or whatever of what like the studio wanted or something. So I'll try to do some research when we actually watch the movie.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to. There's a lot of shit that went on behind the scenes with that one. So when we get around to it, we'll dive into all that stuff. But all right, so I do think that does it for us then for this week. A lot of good TV we talked here, tonight. Good stuff all around. Well, mostly good stuff all around. Marvel Zombies was the only one we're like, it's incomplete, maybe. If not, we'll see where it goes.
As my students would say, it was 6-7.
All right, that's fair enough. I think that's fair. It's a fair rate.
Little joke for the kids, but also yes.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us as always. If you joined us on the Facebook live stream, be sure to check us out at Granny's PhD's Facebook group, where we share a bunch of other stories and trailers and whatnot that don't make the show every week. So check us out there. Check out popculturepros.com and their Facebook group as well, because that's who we are presented by. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to Pop Culture Pros and wherever you found your audio-only podcast. We will be back next week. We'll be talking about episode 5 of Gen V, along with episode 7 of Peacemaker, as that thing starts rounding down to the end, and we'll see where the heck that whole thing goes with Earth X and whatnot. And that'll be that. So we'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.
For watching